I just got three things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine! I just got three things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen,
Nope, hold on. Oh, I see it.
What's going on, guys? Sorry for the delay here. We had some computer technical difficulties. So, I'd like to say hello. The first podcast. We got Sean Martin here. Finally, he come out of the woods. We can finally see him again. We got Rachel Garcia, the driver of the 11 car. And we got Jacob Raby, the driver of the 54 car.
Hang on, I'm having an issue.
So, I'd like to say hello. The first
Just
podcast.
streaming slow.
We got Sean Martin here. Finally, he come out of the woods. We can finally see him again. We got Rachel Garcia, the driver of the 11 car. And we got Jacob Raby, the driver of the 54. You good? All right, so looking to start up a really good season for the 2025 year. Let me recap on last year's champion, Kendall Whitehill, taking the Battle of the Belt race for the second year in a row, and also the points championship. So, yeah, we'll see if anybody can take him off that podium and take the belt from him this year. We're looking good so far. We got about 24 cars lined up this year, and we're looking to add more. Anyway, let's get into this. And Sean, how you been?
Alive. Working on the cars. Looking forward to a good season. Sounds like you got 14, 15 races set up. So, gonna be good racing, a lot of cars. Looking forward to get the season started after being gone for a season.
Yeah, we were wondering if you were all still alive.
All of us were. For a while there, we didn't think we were, but, rough year, but, we'll get it together and get back and hopefully be a contender each week.
Great. Well,
Both cars.
I missed you at the track this year, well, last year I should say. But yeah, and Rachel, you excited for this year or what?
Honestly, it would be a lot better season than last year. Obviously, technical difficulties with the number 11, especially with the first season, with obviously not having the steer wheel on all the way.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Met the wall at Star Speedway.
Yep. Especially the very first race.
Yep. Good. So you're all set and ready to jump in back up another rigid for me?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And Jacob, you ready? What do you got planned? Is your mic on?
I don't know. I don't know how this
it's
thing
on.
works. Jacob can hear me, I guess. That's all that matters.
Cool
I
beans.
probably won't say anything important anyways.
So we're February 1st at 12 p.m. at 17 Hampshire Drive will be our annual drivers meeting. I know Carl Ratcliffe won't be there because he is going to be on vacation, but I highly suggest all drivers attend this meeting because, it's a time where you have any issues or concerns, you can, bring them up then. I know the biggest concern right now is where we come up with no radios. And this year, right here, these transponders are mandatory. If you do need one, bring $140 to the meeting with you, and I can get them. It comes with a 1-year subscription. I will give you a receipt stating that you paid for it. Receivers. These are also mandatory. So make sure you guys go online, buy one of these, and make sure you have them with you at the track.
Honestly, guys, the receiver and the lap counter. He's not asking for anything that any other series isn't making you happen. The receiver's a great thing. The lap counter's a great thing.
It's going to help me out in the
It's
long
going to
run.
help. There's not a scorer. It's done on time. Well, the tracks want you to have the receiver anyways. They don't want to spend 40 laps getting you lined up.
Right.
You know, they want to be able to scream in your ear, get you lined up, and get going.
Yeah.
Most of these shows are under a lot of pressure to meet deadlines and, time restraints. So, pretty much, I would say if you don't have them, you don't race. I mean, so. And then Pete talked about the no radio thing. That's new this year. Again, that was up to the series to decide. That it's always up to the series. Again, no matter which series you race in. So guys shouldn't be complaining too much about that. They don't help you anyways.
Right.
It's not an advantage to have one or a disadvantage not to have one. So that's what it is. Any more like major rule changes from last year? Obviously, I missed the season last year, so I don't know much about any rule changes. So the meeting on February 1st is super important for all drivers.
February 1st.
February 1st. All drivers, all crew members. Lot of stuff gets talked about rule-wise, code of conduct. These tracks don't. They want to invite us. They want us all to have a good time. They want us to put on a show. But they want us to be respectful of their track too.
Right.
So
at the beginning of the year at the test and tune at the Hudson Speedway, there's 3 test and tunes there. I highly suggest you all get your cars ready and to the track. We need to, go through the annual inspection on these cars and make sure they pass. I had these stickers made up. If your car does not have one of these on the roll bar on the passenger side, your car will not see the track. So next week on this podcast here, I will have our new tech guy James on the show with us, and he will explain to you guys on what's going to happen. He won't take any bullshit. So any issues with tech that you don't like, you don't come to me, you don't come to anybody else with the board. James is in charge of tech, you go to him. That's that.
No rocket carbs are allowed. Must be a stock carb. I will have a no-go tech gauge for the carburetor.
And right here, as I'm showing, these are 50-pound valve springs.
Yeah, there you go. 50-pound valve springs right there. You can get them on Amazon for $10.
I suggest if you're running the new motors, before you even run them, before you break them in, I would suggest changing that valve spring.
Yes.
They will not rev. It's lagging. The valves, the motor won't hold up with them valve springs for sure.
I actually did pretty good a little bit last year with the motor I had.
It floats the valves. Yeah. It's just, the motor will survive longer.
Yeah.
The carburetor rule, pretty plain and simple. I think it levels the playing field. The rocket carbs are pricey. The other carbs, I know other people have ventured out to the Midwest and made some calls and got carbs delivered. Putting them all on a stock carb levels the playing field. You're not running on motor. Right. Your carts are momentum, and you're still going to have guys break away. If I take and put a stock carb on my car, it's still going to go as good as it can because it's got bearings and it rolls freely and it's worked on. So rules like that are carb rules, gear rules. They shouldn't affect any of these race cars.
Right. See, the fans want to see pack racing. They don't want to see a spread out racing. They want to see nice pack side to side, door to door racing. A little bit of tire rub here and there is fine, but no bumping, no banging. We're out there to have fun. We're not out there to take each other out. But like I said, pack racing, we don't want to have the leader going into turn 3 and coming up on the back of the pack and having second place just coming out of turn 1. So it's just we're trying to get everybody together, have pack racing, make it fair for everybody. That's what we're trying to do.
I mean, you'll have cars that are still going to take off from the pack. You're going to have cars that you're going to be able to tell the cars that are worked on weekly, and then you're going to tell the cars that are not. I mean, you take just for example, the 7 car last year was super fast out the gate, super fast. It was where it won the first two races last year, and then it died off a bit. And
It actually won 5 races with 5 different drivers.
right, and then it died off a bit, and a lot of that is due to some bearing loss, not greased properly. I know personally, in a race season, my car comes apart. The bearings come apart every week. They get washed, they get repacked, and then they get put back together.
And then
I mean, it's tough. I spend a lot of hours during race season and working on the car, and that's part of why the wife isn't exactly excited about going back full time this year.
My wife.
And I'm sure all of our significant others and all you guys, all you racers out there watching, it's something you love. You don't do it. You don't make no money. You don't. You spend a lot.
Yeah, exactly. With me last year, I found speed in my car halfway through the end of the season.
Yeah, you
It's
did.
all about momentum.
You're a
Yeah,
fantastic Claremont.
it's all about momentum. It's all about rolling free in the corners and stuff.
So the big question I've been getting asked from everybody, and I think Sean and I were talking about it earlier, and I think what it's going to be best is I don't think the tracks are going to allow us to split the rigids and the suspendeds up, so we're going to have to run them together. So,
Makes it more interesting.
right. So if a suspended wins one week and a rigid wins the same week, both of those cars will start tail end of the field the following week. Not just one, but both cars, because they're being scored separately with different point systems, and we are doing 2 different Battle of the Belt races this year.
Again.
One for the rigids and one for the suspendeds. But for the season points and for the belt racing, no matter if you win the week before, you're starting the tail end of the field, all the way to the tail end of the field.
Right, not the tail end of your division.
Right, not the tail end of your division, the tail end of the whole field for the following week. If you guys look up at the screen, you can see the race dates that we have. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to call in. The number will be at the top of the screen for you, and we'll answer the best of the questions you have the best we can. Jacob, can you post the number?
Yep, just did.
All right, thank you. I don't see it.
That's because it's lagging.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But,
It's lagging. But yeah, so there you go. There's a number at the top of the screen. Give me a call, and we'll answer your questions the best we can. But furthermore, once the board gets together, we can probably answer your questions even better at the meeting. But as of right now, if you have any questions, feel free to call in. We're here. And we do have one race scheduled for October 4th at the Lee USA Speedway. That track is no joke. It is fast. And the rigid cars, y'all got to be careful at this track. Sean's been here at Lee USA Speedway. Suspended's been clocked at 93 to 95 miles an hour. This track is no joke. It's an awesome facility. Ben Bazowski and John Espernette has done an amazing job there. I got our booth set up there every race that they have. Hudson Speedway is that's my home track. It'll always be my home track. And we got 4 races there this year. A couple at Riverside, a couple at Star Speedway. Thank you, Bob. And
Hi, Alyssa.
Hi, can I just say, Jacob needs to fix the volume. I can't hear it.
Wait,
Can't
on
hear
who?
any of it.
On who?
The YouTube live.
You can't hear anything?
Okay.
I fixed it.
It's like really muffled.
All right, he turned it
The
up.
volume's all the way up.
Okay.
Any better?
Any better?
She didn't know she's on her phone.
Oh, you're on the phone. You won't be able to.
So you turned it up, Alyssa. So I'll let you go. Okay.
Alright, I
Love you too. Bye.
As,
Yeah.
as far as stuff happening at these tracks, Lee is a fast track, but don't take away from a Hudson Speedway or Riverside. I mentioned them too because I've crashed at both of them.
I
Things
love
happen
Riverside.
fast in
I
these
love
cars,
Riverside.
and once they're halfway around, you're not catching them at these speeds. I've hit the wall twice, and both times weren't able
I
to
was up at Riverside.
correct. I hit Riverside last two seasons ago, and then to start my first season in Pete's car, we hit the wall at Hudson, and yeah, you might be able to bring a car back, but once you're fully sideways and stuff's happening, you don't bring these cars back. They go where they want. So you can't take away from that.
So we only have we have
Schedule's on your side.
14 races scheduled for this year. It's been a pretty good year so far. I'm still trying to get a couple more races. In September and August, we only have one race in that month. But that's okay because a lot of people like to go camping those months.
That's what I said.
And we do have a back-to-back race. We're going to be at Star Speedway on June 13th, and then we're going to Hudson that Monday on June 15th. Like I said, I'm taking all the dates that we can get. But I would like to, I've been trying to get different tracks for us to go to. But it's hard because I know a lot of the traveling is like 4 hours away, and a lot of people don't want to do that, especially when they got to work the following day if we race on a Sunday. So I think we got a pretty good schedule this year so far. I'll have the rules all printed out, and I'll have a schedule all printed out for the drivers and whoever wants one when we go to the meeting. 2025 membership forms, you got to be filled out when we go to the meeting. Your yearly registration is $50. You can bring that with you, or you can bring it to the first practice at Hudson Speedway, and then we'll put paid on it. And then that goes towards getting trophies and stuff, and towards the banquet at the end of the year. If anybody is watching this and they want to sponsor our series for a money race, you're more than welcome to get a hold of me. My number's at the top of the screen, or you can get a hold of me on Facebook. We'd love to have a money race at the track of your choice. We will be set up at the Deerfield Fair again this season. We will also be at the Rochester Fair this year, so we'll be doing both fairs. But the main thing I want to do right now is I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors that we have now. We have DeFrancisco Roofing in Derry. He's a really big, huge contributor. He sponsored us last year, and he is back on board again this year. Let's see. We got Road Plates out of Massachusetts.
Lou's Custom Exhaust.
We have Lou's Custom Exhaust in Derry and in Manchester. We have Planet Aid, which is the company I work for.
Top Gun Automotive.
We have Top Gun Automotive. They're in Manchester Goffstown line. We also have Crown Trophy and Hooksett. And we just Firestorm Graphics, and we also have Rockstar Graphics. But yeah, if you guys would like get your names mentioned and get on one of the cars, feel free to give me a call or message me, and we'll talk and we'll work something out. So but yeah, any questions on what you think we should do this year?
And also another thing with but Riverside, there also is a meet and greet on June 7th when we go up.
Yeah, so see if you guys can make some hero cards or something. You can sign them for the kids and hand them out.
Candy. Kids love candy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Stick a bowl of candy on the roof of your car, let the kids walk up, and they'll be amazed on, they're taller than the car.
Yeah.
So, and they'll be amazed on somebody that your tallness can fit in
The meet and greet being mentioned, a lot of things go on behind the scenes of a series that I've just been learning. I've raced a long time and just kind of showed up and raced, right? I mean, that's what we do as drivers. We show up, we race. We don't see what goes on behind the scenes. So, jumping on with Pete, when he asked me to drive his car 3 years ago, I started to learn a little more about what goes on to develop a series. Pete does. It's a second job. You know, getting these races at these tracks isn't easy. So to have 14, 15 races, go back to these tracks multiple years. Obviously, Pete puts in his time and stuff. So, but on top of that, it's the race car drivers that show up. It's the meet and greets that thank the fans. It's the cruising with Mary that me and Pete have been on multiple times. It's the car shows that have shown these cars around.
I do them all over.
All over the place, from Maine to Mass to New York. 2 seasons ago, guys went out there to showcase them and race them. So learning all that, we wouldn't have a series if it wasn't for Pete putting in the time. And a lot of people. I mean, Pete's getting the main part of it because he gets the races, but I mean, Chris Kingsley behind the scenes with tech and helping write rules. Jay Faulkner, same thing, helping to write rules and tech. Kendall for winning 2 championships. And sick of chasing them, but hey, maybe we'll get him this year.
And also, speaking of championships, also with the number 8 car, that also took the championship for Rigids this year.
Pete Chandler. Yep.
That's also a car to beat.
Yep.
Yeah,
which
it seems to be the rigid to beat.
Yep. So what I'll do right now, actually, is I have a list of registered drivers that are probably going to be racing with us this season. So what I will do is, for the Rigids, we would like to welcome the number 2, the owner of Shredway Speedway, James Paulette. The number 3 of Derek Forrest. The number 5 of Richard Hupy. The 10X of Keith Levine. The number 11, Rachel Gothier. Number 14, Josh McGinnon. The number 24, Paul Sipe. The 42 of Cale Billings. The 73 of Clyde Shatney. The number 38 of Richard Hupy. And the number 69 of Jonathan Bays. Those are the Rigids.
And them rigid drivers, they're drivers. Let's just say that. I came from a rigid at these tracks. These guys that jump in these rigids and they make it around the track, don't discount them, because they can't hang with the suspended, but they're a lot to handle. They're not easy. They're a lot to handle. Unless you're a Skeeter Bierce or something.
Yeah.
I mean, these rigids are a handful.
Trust me, speaking of the Rigids, considering with
handful.
last year, this was my first season jumping in a Rigid, and trust me, I've had a lot of issues with my car.
All right, and then I'm going to read off the list of registered suspended drivers. 06, Ryan Nelson. The number 1 of Jason Rompery. Number 13 of Kendall Whitehill. The 19 of Alyssa Raby. The 20 of Carl Ratcliffe. The 21 of Liam McAdam. The 27 of Jacob Cook. The 28 of Keith Chandler. 29 NH, Hayden Kingsley. The 51 of Jason Faulkner. The 54 of Jacob Raby. The 66 of Jordan Cody. The 78 of Sean Martin. The 88 of Brandon Emerson. And the 55 will be either Haley Martin or Dylan Martin. So that's a list of the suspended cars that we have registered for this year.
And also, don't forget the other Rigid.
And then we do have a couple other drivers that are waiting for cars. So once we get them in the cars and they have them, then we'll be adding them to the list. So we're looking at almost a 25 car field this year. I think this is going to be the largest mini cup field anywhere.
Yeah. yeah, even the Midwest. I watch a lot of the races that come out of the Midwest and the Southeast, whatever it's called, the Southeast Mini Cup Series.
Yeah.
They're sporting, 10 to 12 cars weekly. One thing I can say is these cars here, because we look at cars from all over,
Mhm.
but the cars in New Hampshire are by far the safest cars. A lot of that comes from just being run, and the guys that ran the series before us have, made things safer. So if you're thinking of putting your kid in them, I mean, both my kids, like he said, will run a part-time schedule with the same car. Wouldn't even second guess of putting my kids in the car because they're safe. They're safe.
Mhm.
They're the tech with the new tech guy coming in. But all of us are out there to race. We're not just going for a crash up derby.
Right.
We're out there to race. We race with I guess Jordan Cody must be 15 now,
14 or 15.
14
yep.
or
And
15.
he's come a long way.
And he's come a long way. He races with us adults.
Yep.
Goes out, puts a good show on, got his car going really good. Thanks to I guess Ken Goodrow.
Yep.
Really helped the series out get closer last
Yeah,
year. He
he's-
put
he's-
together 5 or 6 cars with his setup. No lying, no. If you sent your car to him, he put the same setup in as he puts in his car,
Ken is
which
a
helped
really
the
good
series
asset.
a ton.
Yeah, Ken Goodrow's a really good asset to the series. He really is.
The one track that's tricky is Monadnock, especially with their new pavement.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the Monadnock Speedway is fast.
I was gonna say, how was the new pavement?
Fast.
Loose. I was loose.
No bumps though. I don't know.
No, I absolutely
That's
love
right.
it.
I love the bumps
Isn't that when
when I
Kendall
went.
wrecked his car?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kendall wrecked his car there. That's when he had to get into
Yeah,
the
because
71.
that's because when I piled into the back of the
Yep.
10X on accident because I thought they were still going.
Yep.
Don't take much to wreck these cars.
No, it
No.
doesn't.
The lightest hits and you're out of square.
Oh
your
yeah.
spindles are broke. You're
Oh yeah.
I'm listening to myself talk. It's weird.
But yeah, it's so Jacob, what's your plans for this year?
Try and be an upfront running car for this
Well,
year.
what are you gonna do to make that happen?
Work on it. Put in the
Exactly.
work.
Yeah.
So
A lot of work.
You want to
I'll
line
have-
up
I'll have
front.
2
You
cars to
can't
work
just
on this
sit
year.
at home and have your car sit in the garage. Just like Jason Rompery says, just like Sean Martin says, you gotta be out there. You gotta work on your car day in and day out. If you don't, it'll show.
Yeah.
And with all my cars, I own what, 8? And I tell the drivers, you guys want to drive my cars? You guys are responsible for taking care of them. I'm not doing a thing to them.
Yeah,
I will
got 2
supply the
cars.
car. You want to drive it? You take care of it. You bring it back to me in the same condition that it was when you picked it up.
Yeah, I got 2 cars I got to work on this year. So
I think every race car driver out there says winning begins in the garage.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yep.
And
This year I will be having, my wife is going to be writing up contracts for all my drivers this year, which is, it should have been done a long time ago. I agree. They break it, they fix it. They break it beyond repair, they pay for it. They blow a motor, they got to go buy another one and put it in. It's not coming out of my pocket this year. I spent way too much money on these cars in order for somebody else to have fun. Yeah, I'm retired. I can't race no more. So I started doing this, and it's like I own my, I'm driving again. Not this year. You guys blow a motor, you replace it. That's all I ask. You want to
and
have
if you
fun,
need parts, then you'll have them.
and I will have a parts trailer. Hello.
Looking for sponsors?
Yes.
Money, right? I will put $1,000 down. Winner takes all. Take a day in June. David Brady Memorial Race.
Oh yeah. We also got that one.
Oh.
I will put $1,000 down. Winner takes.
you can just pay me tonight.
Mhm.
You don't get crap.
So winner takes all, $1,000 in June.
The Jay Brady Memorial.
Be a race for my dad. Let's
Oh,
see.
you gotta get a kick out of that.
Open motor.
No.
Same rules as there
Same
are.
rules. That's the way to do it. Same rules, same tech.
So in June,
That way, one of the cars that run the series, because a race like this will bring cars it's gonna bring cars from Maine
So, babe, why don't we?
and around.
You can pick the track, okay? You have the Claremont Karting, which is extremely small track.
I wouldn't recommend
You
it.
have Riverside, Star, or Hudson.
Well, Rivers.
Well, you guys race these tracks more than I do. I'll just put the money down. Whichever track is going to put on the best show,
Right, Hudson.
with the least
Yeah,
amount of
and
wrecks, preferably.
well, hopefully there's no wrecks.
No.
Yeah.
I
All right.
mean,
And,
but it is gonna bring some
I'm gonna
cars.
put in the stipulation that you have to be a member of the 603 Mini Cup in order to qualify for the money.
So if you guys want to race,
Because I don't want somebody coming in from Maine or any other
I was-
damn state and being like, hey, and then taking the money. No, 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 no,
I
no, no,
agree
no.
110% on that.
603 Mini Cup members only prize.
correct.
I
So
think that's a good idea.
I agree 110%.
Well, don't
So-
race. I don't
so-
know.
in order to be part of this $1,000 to win J. Raby Memorial, you have to be a member of the 603 series and you have to race the full schedule here. You can't be in Maine and then come around down here, run this
Run one
one
race.
race, and then go back. Not going to happen. You have to be on the schedule every race to be in order to be a participant in this race.
I agree with that.
So it's $1,000 to win.
Unless Jacob wins, then I get to keep the money.
I think I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, right?
Wait, but
Would
that
you, Jacob?
would that be including me
barely
too?
heard that.
That's included everybody. You all right with that, Jacob? You win, Sarah keeps the money.
Okay.
But you all heard it firsthand. June 15th at Hudson Speedway, the J. Raby Memorial, $1,000 to win. But you must be on the racing schedule for the full year in order to be in this race. Awesome.
Just show up from out of state or pick this as your first race, even if you are part of the series. If you miss the first few races and then decide you're going to come to this race, even though you're part of the series, no.
Right.
You have to come to the races prior to this one. in order to
Exactly.
qualify for the
You
money.
should make a number. Well, I mean, that's how many races in.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So that's the 7th race in. I mean, you should have to race the majority of them. I mean,
Yeah.
some people aren't going to make them all, but you should have
You
to
have to
race the
race 5 or
majority.
more.
Yeah, I would put a number on it.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
have been to at least 5 races
I
at the
mean,
beginning of the season in order to qualify.
for the 1,000 to win. That's and you're more than welcome to come race, but you're just not going to be racing for the money.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, we're always welcome cars, obviously,
This is the
but
603
just want to keep
series.
want to keep the money in the
that we're
series.
trying to
Yep.
keep- Yeah, we're trying to keep the money in the series.
In every
I
race,
know every single one of the drivers in this series.
Right.
I really don't care who gets money.
right. In every race, the top 3 in the rigids and the top 3 in the suspendeds stop at the start-finish line at the end of the feature. So the rigids are going to be recognized this year, not like they weren't last year. But they will be at the start-finish line. The top 3 in the rigids will get their trophies at the start-finish line, and so on with the suspendeds. But once again, Monday, June 15th at the Hudson International Speedway, the J. Raby Memorial, $1,000 to win. Must be a 603 member and race the first 5 races or more in order to qualify for this one race. If anybody else wants to add to that purse, get a hold of me, and it'll be a great race.
It's probably how much I'll need to win after everybody tries to wreck everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah,
To try to win.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing. I just make jokes, play
Yeah.
fun, but you know, you just have the same rules, and that makes it real simple.
Yeah,
Because I actually
You know.
placed 5th last year
great,
for the
awesome.
Memorial.
Thank you, babe.
Well, I figured I'd throw my hand in there somehow because, I don't go to these races because, Jacob tries to.
And that's okay. And I know you put up with a lot of my shit during the race season, so I appreciate it.
All the wives
Need
and
$1,000.
Hey, I'll jump in the car and I'll take it from you. All right.
Yeah, you can use it as sports player.
yeah, so tell him he can't just jump in the car anyways. We made a rule of 5 races.
Yeah, that's right.
Come on now.
All right, well, I just wanted to put my hat in there, and hopefully other people will be like, you look around at money racing.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Well, y'all heard it. So, all right.
That'll make some interesting racing.
Chris Kingsley, money,
Yeah.
money.
Oh,
Awesome.
That'll make for some interesting
Racing.
racing and
Yeah, I won't tolerate any rough driving either.
Or Sunday
in
drivers.
generally
Yeah, Rachel.
we haven't had any problem with rough driving. Again, I did miss last season, but
No, we're actually
generally
really well.
we haven't had to, police that, I guess, right? I mean, the first season we went the first 9 races without even a caution.
Yep.
So generally the guys in this racing is, they know it's out for fun. You're racing for a trophy. You don't want to put thousands of dollars into your car week in and week out, and it's quick. Money goes into these cars just as quick as it would, any other car.
Yeah.
When you stop breaking stuff.
Yeah, because like last year at Claremont, the last race of the Battle of the Belt, actually, my fuel line ended up cracking and I was leaking fuel.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was walking by and I was like, what is that?
Yeah, and then you and Keith helped out real quick to get it done, and I ended up taking 3rd in that race.
Yep, you did.
Yeah, maintenance is.
Yeah, because I took like what, 4th?
Yeah, it was so cold.
maintenance,
It was
but
so
it's not-
cold that his line
Right.
cracked.
I mean, you're still going to have issues. One of the other things that, should be brought up, I guess, and again, I wasn't here last year, but have your cars ready.
Yeah, don't bring them to the
Don't
track and
bring
work
them
on
to
them
the
there.
track. If the only time you're going to work on them is at the track,
Yeah, don't
don't
come.
show up.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you're not going to be a contender.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
These aren't cars that you can just show up and tinker with here and there and then go out and be a
Right.
contender. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, just work on your
and
cars
it
at home.
looks bad. And it looks bad
Yeah.
for the series. We don't want that. Work on your cars at home. Come to the track. Your first practice should be air in the tires, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then after that, obviously,
Make adjustments.
people make adjustments and whatnot. But don't show up and, I need to put a chain on and I need to bolt the motor down. And, freak things happen, but you got to be ready. It just doesn't look good for the series.
Yeah.
Don't show up and work on your car. First thing you do is you pull it out and you're trying to change a chain or, and you can reach out to anyone that drives in this series. You can reach out to Pete. You can reach out to me.
You can also
Anyone
reach out
here.
to me.
If you're in the middle of the week and you need a part, there's always someone here that'll either lend you one so you can buy one, sell you one, come over, give you a hand if you don't know how to do something. There's everybody that runs this series, races in this series, is more than willing to give anyone a hand.
Yeah.
So, don't make the series look bad by showing up and working on your car.
Yeah, no, just do all your work at home. Don't bring it to the track and do it, because then we'll just tell you to load up and go home.
Right.
But yeah.
And the other thing is, if you don't make the 2 practices, out of this is something we could talk about next week amongst the drivers. I don't know how many drivers there are out here watching this right now, but at the meeting, make up some type of rule of if you don't make the first 2 practices, I don't even know that you should start the heats in the feature. Unless freak things happen. Like, I do get it. Like, I showed up at the track, worked on a bunch of other cars because mine was ready to go, right? I go out, I go to fire my car, it won't start.
Oh, that was a start.
And yeah, and it come down to, I thought the motor was blown up. It wasn't. It ended up being water in the fuel. So stuff happens. Like, again, I showed up at Riverside working on a bunch of cars, don't work at mine. Fuel line pops off. You're in the car belted up. If a fuel line pops off and you're in staging, that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
You're not going to unbelt, jump out, fix it, and get back. So maintenance happens, and we get that. You're going to have problems. I put a lot of work into my car. The Kingsleys put a lot of work. Them guys, White, Kendall, everybody does. But things are going to happen. But it's just when people show up and they roll their car out, and it's up on jack stands with tires off and chains off and motors off and windows aren't in and window nets aren't in, and it just doesn't look good for the series. We're trying to build a series that's long lasting.
Right.
And Ben Weber, them guys look at us and they go, what a joke. And we're not trying to be a joke. We're trying to be a serious racing series. The series has come a long way. A lot of cars show up, a lot of good guys. So
I think if
you
we
know.
keep keep going the way we are, and we keep building the series, and we will be the largest division around. Last year at Hudson, we brought 19 cars, and we were the largest division that day, and we put on a great show. Once again, Ryan Nelson won that race, and I believe Romper finished second, and Hayden Kingsley got third that day. And it was some just awesome racing. It really, really was. This is the racing that everybody wants to see. Is the pack racing, the side by side, and the finish is the nose to nose. Within inches. This is where the transponders are going to come in handy. It's not only going to help the track, but it's going to help me in the long run because I do all the scoring. And if I see anybody or the track sees anybody, doing stupid shit on the track, they'll have the receiver. They'll tell you to stop or you're going to get booted off the track. This year, we're not going to, we can't go to any track unless we have these two items. This is on them, not on us. We want to race their tracks. We got to comply by their rules. So
Again, it's every series.
Yeah.
It's not just it's every series. Everyone and the receiver. It's a good thing to have, anyways. The transponder, same thing. They just when you get to 19 field cars, and it's hard to score.
It is.
One guy
I've
can't
done it.
score, and I've tried to help Pete score, and it's not for me. I wouldn't do it. You couldn't pay me enough to do it. So he's not asking anything that is out of the ordinary. I think it's a good call.
Yeah. But it's and like I said, anybody needs a transponder, bring $140 to the meeting. I'll give you a paid receipt, and once I get them in, I will give you a call. We will meet up, and I will get it to you, and then I'll bring your receipt with you, and I will put that you had received it.
And these transponders will work at multi-tracks.
They'll work at all the tracks except for Riverside.
Yeah.
You have to buy one from Riverside, and it's like $20, I think, for the rental.
I think, yeah. I was just gonna say, you probably would be able to rent
Yeah, you can
at
rent them
most
at
tracks
Riverside.
if you guys don't want to put up the 160 right off. I think most tracks rent them now too.
Yeah. But
in the long run, it's
cheaper
cheaper
if
to
you
buy
one.
one. I mean, in the long run, it's cheaper to buy one. I'm pretty sure it's $25 a night to rent them. But yeah, it's cheaper in the long run just to own one.
Yeah.
And then it's always on your car. That's the other thing at the track.
Make sure you charge it.
At the meeting, we'll come up with placement of them. Everyone's obviously going to have them in the same place.
Right.
I mean, I'd like to put
front,
mine on a fishing pole, so if
right
I'm not
before the
leading,
bumper.
I can cast her out the window. But I mean,
But you
that's
drive
just
with one
me.
hand
That's
anyway,
just
so you
me,
can do
right?
it.
Yeah. I drive with one hand anyway. So I used to say, Josh Kirk would yell at me all the time. Put both hands on the wheel, and I says they fight each other. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, I
That's how I
believe
was
the
taught.
transponder placement is the right front, right before the bumper.
Yeah, so it'd be on the right front, in the front. Make sure the lights are facing down. Make sure there's no sheet metal or bars below it because it will not read. It's got to be open below the
They don't-
transponder.
They don't read if they're in your seat with you either.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Found that out at Riverside.
Yeah.
They don't read. I don't know.
Alright. But we will be checking motors. James will be tearing them down and resealing all motors. So if they don't have a 603 seal on them, they got to bring them to me so James can check them and seal them. He will be on this show next week, so then that way you all get to meet him. And he
He'll be
will
there.
also be at the meeting as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's looking up to be a great year. And we're just excited to get it started.
Jacob likes to hang his valve spring up there.
Jacob, hanging your valve spring? Jacob?
Excuse me. Jacob ain't listening. Look at he's in
I
space.
know, I hear you.
He doesn't want to pay attention.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, any sponsors that want to get into this money race, they're more than welcome to get a hold of me. The number's at the top of the screen, or you can Facebook me or whatever. It's gonna be an amazing year. Make sure you guys go to the Deerfield Fair and the Rochester Fair this year. We're gonna be set up with cars over there. There'll be plenty of rigids and plenty of suspendeds for the kids to sit in. We'll be giving out stickers and stuff like that.
All you race car drivers that say you're strong, show up at these places that he does, these shows.
Yep.
I've followed him across New England here the last 2 years, and it's a lot of fun to see the look on kids' faces when you get to set them in the car.
Mhm.
They don't get to go to these fairs and sit in race cars. These young kids, 3, 4, 5, even the adults, they don't get to go to the fair and sit in a race car. So when you're lifting kids, the Sky Show 2 seasons ago,
Yep.
we must have lifted 10,000 kids in and out of them cars, and they loved it. And that's what racing's about. The next generation.
Yep, exactly.
You know, let's keep the generations going. Let's give these kids something to look forward to. So show up, have some fun. These shows are fun. Yeah, just again the kids. It's the kids lifting them in and out.
It's all
They
about the
really
kids.
get a kick out of it. And
Uh,
seeing that smile is huge.
Absolutely. We do have 2 upcoming events. We got the Vermont Motorsports Expo at the end of March that we're going to be attending to. Thanks to Justin St. Louis, for having us again this year. And then we're also going to be at the March 5th through the 9th at the Auburn Mall in Auburn, Maine. We'll be set up there thanks to Les and the new Oxford Dragway show. Looking forward to being there. We did sponsor both shows, so we will be there. And hopefully we walk away with some hardware again this year. The Pace car that we had and the Hudson Speedway car that we had got first and second place at best of pairing at the Auburn Mall. And at the Vermont Motorsports Expo, we did walk away with best booth appearing. So, we'll work on that again this year. And we do have a bunch of apparel for sale. We just got a whole new shipment in. T-shirts, hoodies, cups, hats, beanie hats, gloves, you name it, we have it. That will be all set up at both shows. We will also be set up at the racetracks as well. But this is going to be an amazing year. Looking forward to, we'd like to see if we can get up to at least 28, maybe even 30 cars. Would be absolutely amazing. We have the largest mini cup series anywhere. South, north, east, west. We will be the biggest series around. So let's make that happen. You ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Well, you ain't ready until your car's done.
Yeah, I got a couple months.
That's what I said. We got a couple
That's
months.
what I keep saying too, but then I'm like, I had to push myself because it is easy to say.
Yeah.
Racing's 2 months away.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
Yeah,
I gotta get my car
Right.
out of the gazebo.
I mean, I always feel like I could put my car back together in 2 hours, which I probably could.
Yeah.
But,
Well, anybody wants
Gotta
that
get
car wrapped, get a hold of me. I've been doing a lot of wraps on cars. I just did 2. I'm working on my 3rd one, getting ready for the show. And then I have 4 more to do. It's not free, obviously, but if you guys want your car wrapped, you tell me the colors and stuff like that, and it'd be great. So we're looking to finish more wraps on cars, and it'll be you tell me your number and the colors you want, and bring me the body, and give me 2 weeks, and we'll get it done. So it'll be great. It'll be it's time consuming, but it's fun for me because it gives me something to do while my wife is at work and I'm home doing nothing, being bored. But yeah, just we're gonna be on our podcast every Thursday at 7 if we don't have any technical difficulties, which I know it wasn't his fault. It happens.
the first one. I
It's-
mean, we're none of us are rocket scientists. We're race car drivers.
It'll be it'll be fixed.
We're lucky
over
we
the
got
week.
it. Hey, we're lucky we got to this part.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
It'll
But it would be
fi-
nice to see some drivers get interactive with us too.
Yeah,
Whether
we'll
you're
drivers
here,
on. Yep.
whether you're here or you call in, be nice to know that you guys are out there listening, paying attention to what the series is doing.
It'll be
Exactly.
fixed for next week.
So, all right. Well, Jacob said it'll be fixed for next week, but yeah, we'll have different drivers on. Like Sean was saying, we'd love to have people call in and ask us questions, and just so we know that people are watching, and then that way we can, just keep it going. It's gonna be every Thursday at 7 p.m. We'll be on. Just kick it off, and like I said, it's just gonna be an amazing year. We'd like to welcome Sean Martin back. Hopefully he finds his way to the racetrack this year.
We will. We will. I got 2 kids on me now.
So
My son thinks I'm just going to get in it and go win. That's what I thought, honestly. Hey, I'm not going to lie. Pete asked me to race. We took the car from him. We went home. We built it. And we were just going to go win. What I've always done. I come from a winning family that, raced a lot of divisions that just won. So that's what I was going to do, right? I raced for my dad back 2010 was the last time I raced before Pete asked me to jump in. And we came off a championship run. We missed it by 5 points, but I figured, hey, did it when he was around. Why can't I just jump in and win? We're 3 years, and that elusive win just hasn't come to me yet. I'll get there. I mean, we've been chasing the same 3-4 people year in and year out. Kendall Whitehall, huge shout out. He shows up. He's fast week in and week out. He's good behind the wheel. He's got his dad's behind him every week, and same thing. We chased Derek Sargent's cars for a few years.
We would like to have him back.
We would love to see Sean get back into the driver's seat of that race car and have him come back. We encourage competitors. We want competitors, and let's try to leave the drama behind. Let's try to leave the he's cheating, he's this. If you're chasing a Kendall Whitehall around, go home, put your car in the garage and make it better. We did that for 3 years and we're not the best yet, but I've never been one to complain. Go home. If he's cheating, figure out what he's doing to cheat and cheat with him.
Right.
If you're not cheating, you're cheating yourself.
These cars are no joke. They are fast.
And the slightest change changes them.
Yep. I was clocked at 93 miles an hour at Lee USA Speedway.
Yep. They're quick. They get around.
Yeah, they're pretty quick. So, we'd like to, it's incredible. But it's, so, it just, if you have a car, build it.
Yeah.
Come race with us.
Reach out. If you don't know how to build it, reach out.
Yeah, we're all about, helping each other. So you need help, give us a call, shoot us a message saying, hey, look, you need help with this. You don't know what you have. Or
I'll be there to go help.
Yeah, just reach out. My son is more than willing to go over and help you.
I'll give you my losing setup even. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's just, you got a car, dig it out. Let's have some fun. I've been trying to find cars around New Hampshire, but I kind of bought them all.
Yeah, there ain't many around.
There ain't many around here anymore. I'm sending a buddy of mine, Derek, to West Virginia to get a couple cars and come back with them. But yeah, just if you guys get the money, $2,000 for a rigid, which ain't bad, and you can buy a really, really good suspended for around $5,000. And it could be a winning car. You never know. Just
they're all basically the same.
Yeah. If you got any questions, reach out to us. We'll help you. Tell you what you have or what you need. Like I said, my son, he's more than willing to drive an hour away just to go help you put a motor in. It's no brainer. We are all here to help each other. So let's have some fun this season. And Chris Kingsley, I drive with my Camaro. But yeah, it's
only if I can put a hook on it, so he can tow me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's we'll have a blast this year. Next year we'll next year.
This coming season.
Yeah.
Means.
Next week we will have James on. He is our official tech guy, and yeah, so
he's got his work cut out for us. He's been with all the babies in our series.
Yeah,
me being one.
Me also being one.
Yep. So we'll get James all set up, and we'll he's not the one to say this or that or this or that.
He doesn't have anything invested.
Right. Exactly, and he's not affiliated with anybody on the series either.
He's
so
showing up to tech cars. And I know last year, because I did pay attention to what was going on, we had some issues with we're going to tech and we're not doing this.
Yellow.
I think I like it, bro.
Hey, Derek, you're online. You're on the show. So, are you ready for this year?
Yes, sir.
You gonna work on your car at your house and not the track?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to put on the track this year.
Well, it's what you
not
said last.
easy. It's
It's what
not
you said
easy.
last year, and you made it on the track one time.
Like 5 laps.
I kind of had a bent frame, so I didn't really know that until I actually got down and dirty. And
Are you sure I wasn't the operator?
Operator error.
Operator error?
yep. Now we got a better frame this year, and I gotta rebuild everything, so I know it's done right.
Yeah, right. So, well, thank you for going to get that for me out in Maine yesterday. And
I got 2 more weeks, I'll be going out and going to pick up the other 2 cars for us.
yeah, West Virginia. So, cool beans, man. Yeah, but don't forget, February 1st is the meeting at the 17 Hampshire Drive in Hudson, New Hampshire.
No, you're good. I'm good for that.
All right.
I'm out of work until March, so I'm good.
All right, man. Sounds good. We'll see you then.
Yes, sir.
All right, bye.
Bye, guys.
All right, so it's about that time, guys. We got about 1 minute left. I just want to say thank you all for watching, and don't forget next week we'll have James on here for new tech guys, so y'all can meet him. Yeah, guys, have any questions? Feel free to call in at the next show. You gonna come back next week?
I can be here any week you want me to be.
Right.
I love talking racing.
We'll have Sean back here with us next week, and we'll have Rachel here and my son Jacob, and we'll see you all back here next Thursday at 7 p.m.
Shout out to Jacob for getting this set up.
Yes.
He'll get it worked out.
Yes,
Yeah.
he will. And race on. We'll see you next week.
Alrighty.